Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Forge World and Games Workshop. Now, you could probably tell by the sound of my voice, I'm very happy today. Yesterday, the channel reached 40,000 subscribers, which is one of the milestones I've been looking forward to. And it's thanks to you all subscribing, enjoying the videos, liking them, leaving comments. And so as a reciprocation for reaching this milestone, there's going to be a 40,000 subscriber giveaway, which I've been alluding to over the past few months, to be fair. It will be a big Forge World model or the money equivalent, because I want to get you the prize as quickly as possible. And sending you a voucher may well be quicker than me ordering a model and then posting it out to you, especially with everything else that's going on. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Another reason why I'm so happy is it's snowing. Looking outside now, it's snowing in Norfolk. I do love a bit of snow. Surely you all are familiar with the British weather. It's very unpredictable, I suppose, and it hasn't snowed here the last 2 years, so it's a nice change of scenery for me, at least, to see the environment, the landscape, but in a different shade, I guess. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, as always, if you haven't already subscribed, now is a reason to subscribe, because because the 40k subscriber giveaway is only open for everyone that's subscribed. If you could keep liking the videos that you do like and leaving a comment, that would be fantastic. Also, and if you fancy supporting the channel kind of monetarily, you can join as a member right here. But the best way to support the channel, if you live in the UK or Europe, is by using the Element Games affiliate link code that's found at the bottom of every video, found in the description of every video, and that will take you to this web store. And yeah, don't forget to use the little Element Crystals code, because then you receive double the crystals as well as a discount off of your Warhammer goodness. I'll just take this opportunity to thank all of you that have been using it. I know times are tough, but at the same time, I think a lot of people are staying at home and hobbying more. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that does use the code. Just by clicking that link and adding the crystal code in the box really helps the channel out and allows me to continue to make this daily content. So let's jump on over to the community website, where there is a fair amount of news. Lots and lots of things that have gone on over the past week. If we just go all the way back to 9th of January here, right about here. I think on the Saturday I looked at the Tank Battles, War Queens, Gotrek's Missing Axe in Black Library. Then there was a Sunday preview, and I think we all got it correct with our predictions that this weekend, so today, there'll be the pre-orders of all of the Death Guard. Games Workshop are sticking true to their kind of fortnightly release schedule now. You'll have the Codex right here. You'll have the Collector's Edition. You'll have some cards. You'll have a Combat Patrol, which, in light of a recent release of some of the rules, I question even more now. But I'll dive into detail of this Combat Patrol a little bit later on. Basically, I don't think there has been a good Combat Patrol that's come out yet. Then you've got a Terminator, Lord of Virulence. It says specifically clad in ancient Terminator armor. No, that's the Indominus class of Terminator armor, so the newer class. It's not Cataphracti or Tartarus, so ancient. And then you've got this miasmic malignifier, which is a bit of a scenery piece. No doubt that is made in China. I think the base, if you look at the base, it's got some detail on. I'm of the opinion that that is going to be pre-molded onto the model. It's not a new size base or a new base at all. I think the base is part of that. And then finally, over 3 years later, you've got the Chosen of Mortarion. These 3 champions. I know at least one person maybe in the hobby have been holding out for these models to be available separately. But yeah, they've been available in the Dark Imperium box set for over 3 years, and also in the Conquest subscription. But those of you that are new to the hobby and you started Death Guard, or you want to start Death Guard, this is great news. And then you can pre-order everything there, including this art print, if you just want to select everything in one click. Potswalkers, 10 miniatures, now available separately. Yeah, we'll have a look at the price of those in a moment. Middle-earth Lord of the Rings, you've now got returning classics. I don't know what Gollum's doing with that rock there, but there we go. And quite an interesting pose from Gollum there. Yeah, these are old minis. I think these are coming back in... Well, it doesn't really say. I would have thought that they're metal. And then you've got the latest threat from House Escher, the Fur Cats. A bit pricey, but we'll have a look at those. And then I know a lot of people have been waiting hard for these Night Lords Contacar Terminators. I was even tempted myself to pick some up, but alas, I think they're now out of stock. So very popular despite the price, but again, a couple of people mentioned the price, but they're the same price as the other White Scar Terminators, and they fall in line with the rest of the Horus Heresy range. Forge World have always been expensive because they're extremely high detailed resin miniatures. It's a completely different production process compared to GW plastic. And if anything, I'd say Games Workshop are more expensive than ever. Some of their models are falling in line with the price of Forge World models, which is quite crazy. Then you can pre-order the Fury of Magnus. I think I pre-ordered this from Amazon instead for a fair bit cheaper. Then you've got Lord of the Dark Millennium by Dan Abnett. Massive book there. It's a definitive short story collection. And also up for today is the Siege of Terror Book 5 Mortis. I do like these editions. I think they're fantastic. Whether they're worth the £50 or £60 they are is completely up to you. And you know, if you've managed to get all of them except for one, yeah, it's going to be a bit tough to. Yeah, your collection's going to look a bit strange, isn't it? But funnily enough, I really like the front cover, so I won't be picking up this special edition. So for collectors of this type of book, that's great. But again, they're limited, only 2,500 copies. And the same for the next book in the Primarch series, Alfarius, Head of the Hydra. Hail Hydra. If we go back to the news, you've got an article about the Emperor's Spears get official new law and rules. This is Spear of the Emperor. This is the novel that came out, I think, last year. There you go. You've got some, and then you've got Codex Supplement rules. The Rumour Engine, 12th of January. Some kind of lizard gecko thing on someone's cloak, maybe. Meet the Night Lords that give the rest of the Legion nightmares. So this is an in-depth look at the Contacar Terminators. They were the Night Lords' premier shock troops. Terminator Terror. I do like the skull helmets. There's so much detail going on with the chains and the skulls and the meat. You can download the rules there, though, if you wish. And also the Praetor, if you click on there, it'll take you directly to the Praetor, which is quite a cool model as well. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about in terms of Games Workshop being more expensive than ever. £26 there for a highly detailed resin miniature with a couple of head options. The new Blight Lord Terminator Lord, the new Death Guard Lord of Virulence is only £2.50 cheaper, which is, yeah, crazy. When you start getting the Games Workshop plastic minis almost the same price as Forge World, you know that Games Workshop are definitely bumping up their prices. You've got Necromunda Underhive Informant, Regimental Standard, fighting alongside the Dark Angels. Dawn of Fire Saga continues this month in the Gate of Bones. So this is the Dawn of Fire novel. Make your plague weapons even more deadly with the Lord of Virulence. Right here, you've got Master of Destruction, Blight Bombardment. So it gives you a little bit of extra rules there for this Lord of Virulence. It is equipped with a vicious twin plague spewer. That'll be amazing. Also looks like he's got this power claw as well. It also looks like he's got this power fist. Blood Bowl, Pitchside Report, meet Gretchen Vatcher. Anyway, that's quite nice. Elite Night Lords and Exotic Cats lead this week's Forge World's pre-orders. So I think I've touched on these already, but you get I mean, look at that detail. It's incredible, right? And look at this. I don't know what he's holding. I can't really see from that angle. But there's a load of meat and flesh and things hanging off of him. And these are the fur cats for the Escher gang. Yeah, I'd like a painting tutorial where they talk about how they get the stripes on there. That would be cool and useful. Creating your own custom plays for crusading Death Guard armies. So there you go. You got some information there. You got one of the old spawns. And that's it for the news. Let's stomp on over to Forge World and have a look at those Terminators and fur cats. Okay, so here we have Forge World's web store, and it's so good to see, you know, new models, new products up for pre-order, and this is what they've done. Not only have they, well, unfortunately they're pushing the Battleforge again, but if you look a little bit lower than that, you've got the Night Lord's Contacar Terminator Elite. You've also got the Cat's Whiskers, which is the Escher fur cats. You still got them, crush them beneath your treads, so some of the you know, products that they've hand-picked for you to purchase. You got the Night Lord's little start your army thing there, so if we just open that in a new tab, but let's have a look at these. Night Lord's Contacar Terminator Elite, £63. This falls in line with all of the other Terminators. I mean, if we just type in Terminators, for instance, look, you've got the Iron Warriors, which admittedly have less detail, but they do have the missile launchers on the top. They're actually more expensive. You've got the Space Wolves Terminators, which have the dodgy looking fur pelts. They're 63, so they're the same price. The old ones, the Death Guard Terminators, are very old. You've got 3 Custodes Terminators for £51, so that works out about £17 each. So if you had 5 of those, you're looking at £85. You've got the more newer Terminator, which I spoke about before, the White Scars, they're the same price, and so on. So they haven't priced these at 65, which they could well have done. They haven't priced them at 70. Whatever people think about the prices, whether you're new to the hobby or you're just inexperienced in terms of Forge World pricing, Forge World is the very expensive offshoot of Games Workshop. There are of course other companies out there that do sell miniatures for similar price, if not more expensive, with similar amount of detail, and again, if not more detail, but at the same time, they all have issues. There's not one company out there that always gets it completely right. But the point I'm going to make is, whatever you think about the price, they are out of stock, and they were sold out since yesterday. So they are still very popular. I understand that Night Lord's Legion players have been waiting for ages since they were first announced. I think the summer of last year, I'd like to say. But they're fantastic looking models, and if I had Night Lord's army, I wouldn't hesitate to buy at least one set of them, maybe a second, but there we go. Then if we look at the fur cats, but if we just go to new and pre-orders and click those, £21. I think that is quite pricey. It's nice that you're getting 2 completely different fur cats, and it does work out about £10 per model. But looking at them and giving them their size, I would have much preferred them, of course, to be something like £18, maybe £9 per model. But there we go. If you've got an Escher gang, then yeah, these are definitely for you. You'll find their rules in House of Blades rulebook. But you can get those to accompany all of the other beasts that they've released. I think they released the rats, they released the crocodile, you know, all kinds of things. So that's it for Forge World. Let's pounce on over to Games Workshop and have a look at those Death Guard pre-orders. Okay, so good luck if you've been able to get onto Games Workshop's web store this morning. It's crashed quite a few times. It's an absolute farce now. You can't begin to understand my frustration. This is the first pre-order weekend of the year, and they still haven't learned a single lesson. It's so frustrating. This happened a few times last year, specifically with the Indomitus box set, and I think it also happened with the Sisters Battle earlier last year too. But what it boils down to is just a huge increase in traffic into the web store, and resulting in and resulting in it, predictably crashing. You would have thought that they'd learnt something by now and, put things in place to avoid that from happening. But alas, they haven't. And unfortunately, that has a real cost to it. If people get frustrated and they can't log on to the web store at the 10 o'clock on the Saturday morning and they can't purchase what they're going to get, or if they eventually get through to the web store and then the items that they really wanted are now out of stock, it's a bitter taste. They're not going to come back. It's it's not very good. But I've managed to get on somehow, and it is loading. I've got a blue circle thing whirling around, but at least at this point I think I can open tabs in new windows. There we go. Right, so that works. We'll do it the safe way at the moment. So you've got this pre-order right here, £261 everyone, for the Combat Patrol, which is 85. You've got the Lord of Virulence there. Essentially what we're looking at here is 43 miniatures plus 2 of the scenery pieces. So this is the framed art print with kind of an odd squiggle there, but there's only up to 100 of these made. Yeah, that's a lot of money. £261. I mean, you can buy a whole army for that amount of money instead of the 40 odd miniatures. I'm just trying to put things in perspective. Let's have a look at the other pre-orders. So you've got the collector's edition codex. I'm dipping out of the collector's edition codexes from this point on. Not so much the Age of Sigmar ones, because they are fantastic and you definitely get your money's worth. I kind of wish I'd picked up the Slaves of Darkness Battle Tome now collector's edition and the Gloomspite Gitz one, but nonetheless I did get the Lumineth one, so I'm happy with that. But still, yeah, this book is going to be a disappointment. It's nice that they show the contents because we can see how many pages it is. It's showing 95 pages in total, which, I'm sorry to break it to you, everyone, that is now less pages than the previous 8th edition codex, which is a huge disappointment. You've got a load of data sheets there. They do have a Lord of Virulence specific data sheet. You've got Death Guard Sorcerer, Malignant Pladecasters, Cultists, Plague Bearers, Noxious Blightbringers, and so on. So you can kind of see some of them, but to be fair, I would have loved them to upload like a high-def version of the contents so that we can actually read it. I mean, I don't see the point of uploading that. You can't see it that well. Just a clearer version, because that is all befuddled, isn't it? But as always, you're getting your page keeper, you're getting the soft touch cover, which is really, really nice. It's on a different format, different size than the 8th edition. They are taller and wider books. I think they're actually the same width and height as the Age of Sigmar battle tomes, which is great. But if you're going to go for the normal edition, the standard one right here, it's still not a bad. You're still not going to be disappointed in the quality of the cover. The covers for these new 9th edition books are nice. They're not as shiny and glossy, and they don't feel as cheap as the 8th edition books did. However, where you're going to be disappointed is in the content, of course. They're focusing more on missions, more on the Crusades. They're not focusing on what these books, in my opinion, should focus on, which is the lore and unit lore and paint guides and images of all the models and armies. Because otherwise it's just stratagems and command points and things that we could get for free from the app. I mean, the perfect world for me would be to have the app for free and just have the data sheets and the Crusade rules, things like that, but have these codexes offer something on top of that, which would be the army photos and the in-depth lore for the units, so that you've got a choice then of just getting the rules if you just want to play, or you want to get the backstory and everything to go with it. For me, I think that would definitely work, but it depends what works for you as well. Now, you've also got the data cards, £15 there. You've got the Lord of Virulence, £23.50 for a single sprue. He does come in a cardboard box. I'll be unboxing him next weekend if everything goes well, and yeah, we'll see what all the fuss is about. Fantastic looking model though. Nice to get another HQ for Death Guard. Then you've got Combat Patrol Death Guard. Now this is the bone of contention here. You get 30 Potswalkers, but I have it on good authority that the new rules for the Potswalkers have changed so that the maximum unit size is only 20. It's shocking. Absolutely shocking. So it kind of takes away any validity that this set even has to exist. It's a collection of models that are over 3 years. Games Workshop are clearly trying to shift stock. Potswalkers themselves are pushed to fit, easy to build. You're getting 30 of them there. There will be repeats. It's nice to have Plague Marines in there, 7 and Typhus, but come on, I was expecting Blight Lord Terminators, Plague Marines, maybe the new Lord of Virulence, because it's not necessarily a named character, maybe a Fetid Bloat Drone and some Potswalkers. I can see where they're going with this set. They wanted to use Typhus's rule, but it's negated now because you can only have 20 in the. And I think while it is good that they released 10 Potswalkers in a separate box right here, it's £20. They're not Space Marines. They're not, Space Marines were £20 for 10 at one point, and now you've got these, which are, they're easy to build sprues. Look, you do get a Plague Marine in there, but which isn't shown, which is really odd, but it is literally the sprue from Dark Imperium. But it is literally a couple of sprues from Dark Imperium. It's crazy, really, how we've got to this point. But I think the goal is they want to sell you a box of Potswalkers with your Death Guard, and then you can have 40 running around the board. You've got the Chosen of Mortarion. Its price point is, yeah, I can see what they're doing here. I mean, if you break it down, it is about £12 per model. So if you look at it from that point of view, not too bad, considering usually these elite choices are about £18 to £20 nowadays. But still, £37.50 for 3 of these plastic minis is still hard pill to swallow. But if you've never had them before and you've totally missed out and you want to start Death Guard, I would still recommend you pick them up. You've got the Mortis Limited Edition Horus Heresy Siege of Terror. Are you ready? I'm pretty sure this is sold out. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, no longer available. So that got snapped up within about 10 minutes, and I think that is the main reason why this site crashed. I was on here before 10. I could have pre-ordered it. I haven't got any of the others, and it would just look odd next to the standard edition hardback books that I've got. To be fair, it would look like a sore thumb. It would really stand out next to the rest of it. John French, he did a fantastic job with the Solar War. It's actually one of my favourite books out of the Siege of Terror series so far. And no doubt he's probably done a great job with this one. You just don't know, though. It could be a bit of a dud, with me being super critical of the other books. You just don't know, and that's a lot of money to sink in a book that, you might not enjoy or as much, or your expectations might be so high. But yeah, £50 if this is the 5th one, and you've got all of them now. Congratulations, you've spent £250 on 5 books. But your mileage may vary, and you may enjoy spending that amount of money on the books, especially if you're a collector and you like the limited sort of collector's appeal of these. You've also got Alfarius, Head of the Hydra. I don't think this will be out of stock, but don't quote me on this. Let's have a look. No, you can still pre-order that, and it is £40. That's in the same scheme as the other Primark collectors limited edition books. You've got some Middle Earth models here. So you've got the Black Riders. You've got Gildor Inglorian and Glorfindel. You've got Frodo Baggins, Samwise Gamgee and Gollum. Fury of Magnus is available for hardback. If we just open that up there, that's still available to pre-order. I'm pleased that these books are still £18 and they haven't jumped up to £20 overnight. I still think that these should be £16, no more than that. You've got the Lord of Dark Millennium, Dan Abnett. That's in paperback now, £13. It's a colossal book. I've seen it in person. It's even bigger than the Eisenhorn novel, but does it actually tell you how many pages it is? No, that's such a shame. It would have been nice to do that. However, through the power of the internet, I can find it out on Amazon that it's cheaper on Amazon too, by the way. It's about £10. It's 700 pages if you're interested. And then you just got a few more sets there for Middle Earth if you're interested. I want to see, does it actually explain? They are metal, so they released them in metal. I wonder if all of them are metal. Let's just have a look at this. These, yep, they're metal. They're out of stock though. So those, they're not. So wow, these were out of stock quite quick. None of those though. And the Black Riders are out of stock. Wow, people really enjoying the Middle Earth made to order miniatures. They were quick on the heels of those. So there you go. That's what Games Workshop's first ever pre-orders for January 2021 look like. Quite possibly we're going to be waiting another 2 weeks before we see some more. February, I think they're slated the Slanesh new models, which will be fun. I'm going to enjoy looking at those from afar before I'm too tempted to buy that awesome Prince of Gluttony or whatever he is. But I'll still enjoy looking at those and picking them apart on the web store. What do you guys think of this Death Guard release? For me, it's a little bit lackluster, especially if the codex is going to be in the same format as the Space Marine and Necron 9th edition codexes, and coincidentally the codex supplements. Pretty weak combat patrol for veterans and people that already, and for hobbyists and collection, and for hobbyists that already have, and any Death Guard army, especially when you consider the rules change with the Potswalkers, which I will probably go through in depth. I mean, I don't think it's as groundbreaking as Scouts being elites or Monolith being Lord of War, but it's still pretty tough. There are other better combinations of Death Guard that you can pick up, and if you still want the lore, and if you still want to play 8th edition, to be fair, if you can pick up the older Death Guard codex, you won't be disappointed with that one, because that was fantastic and one of my favourite books of 8th edition. What do you guys think of this whole release this weekend? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below as always. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Papa bless.